turning like wildflower. See?
Wildflower. Is that the one you got a shot on?
So, Susan,
He gonna interview
I
us.
can't say that. When's the first time Ellis come down here, Susan?
Lord have mercy, many years ago.
Well, 19 what? To the house.
Don't look at me.
Lord, Chris, I can't tell you.
Okay, Linda, while she's thinking, your first trip down here was 19.
64.
And why'd you come down here?
I was dating Doug. She was after Doug. Doug was after me. He brought me down here. She had 2 ponies down in it. Yeah, I had a horse and a pony over there. Before they got married? After.
When did y'all get married?
1968.
Y'all didn't date but 3 years.
No, we dated, let's see, from the time I was 14 to, well, I was when I got married, 18.
And he didn't bring you, you said you come down here when you were 17, so he didn't bring you down here until you...
He was ashamed of me. He won't either. There was probably a skate ring. And yeah, probably was. Okay, when was David? What time David come down here? He probably didn't come down here till I was in the 11th grade. So when I was 16 probably. I started probably going with him when I was like 17. Yeah.
Did they let him come in?
Yeah. Mama didn't like him.
Why?
Well, she said the people from Five Forks was too, I don't know if she used it wild, but they drank, but David didn't. And then David come down here before we got married, and he talked to her about,
He talked to Grandma and Granddad?
Just Mama.
He didn't have to talk to Granddad?
No.
Just talk about Ellis. Everybody else lost out.
Well, I can't tell you how long it's been because I was going with Everly and Ellis one
At the
night.
same time?
Yes, indeed.
So how long did you and Ellis date?
Years. He was in service. And I went with him. And then Everly was in service. So, when Ellis, Everly come home, I went with Everly. When Ellis come home, I went with Ellis. And they used to come down here. But Ellis was never.
They come down here together?
No. Edward used to take the telephone out of Ellis's hand. He would come by here. But no.
So how many of y'all were born in the house?
I don't know where I was born at, but I don't ever remember going anywhere except here because Uncle Witz and them lived over there. No, I'm wrong. Uncle Witz and them lived where the old shack in front of Peanut's house is now. That's where they live. And then Uncle Paul lived over there, and he had a Indian that lived in the yard that stayed in a tent.
Nat Paul?
Uncle Paul, Daddy's brother. Paul Carver, Paul Jr., his daddy. They had, I don't remember the woman, but they said that Mama didn't have enough milk to feed, because me and Susan and Norma Jean were so close together. And the Indian lady, she would nurse me.
That's why we so dark.
Probably.
But she was Mama's best friend too.
So who's the oldest?
Eunice, Margaret, Peanut, Mary Selma, Norma Jean, me, Susie, Doug.
When's the first time y'all saw Carolyn down here?
Huh?
When's the first time y'all saw Carolyn down here?
A year before, more before him and Peanut got married. She was always real, humbling and nice and, done whatever, Peanut wanted.
I remember Carolyn made me feel
special, didn't she?
At Granddaddy's funeral.
Yeah.
Something, the way what she said and the way she hugged me meant more than anybody else.
She was a good wife to Peanut. Linda was a good wife to Doug. But Chris, both of them were spoiled.
let me tell you this.
I
I'll
was
never forget
not.
this as long as I live.
I said Doug,
Mary
Doug
Salmon.
and Peanut was
Oh,
born.
oh.
Y'all
Mary
went to
Salmon was
more.
sort of
I
a
know.
mean. She would scratch you with her fingernails. Bad. She would really scratch Norma Jean. I think she scratched Norma Jean more than anybody else. But she ran me around this house. I'll never forget it. Umpteen times chasing me with a
Darn
jar
mayonnaise.
of mayonnaise. And I can't stand
Gotta be
mayonnaise
Mary
now,
Zelma.
all that. Mary Zelma.
No.
And Mary Zelma, she would catch me and she said, eat one more spoonful. Well, I tried
Why
to
was
chop.
she doing it?
I don't know why she
'Cause she was trying-
She's trying to make Ed Earl sick.
That's why I don't like mayonnaise.
Yeah, Ed Earl sick. She chased me umpteen times. I don't know how much mayonnaise I eat, but right now when I eat a mayonnaise sandwich, I put very little mayonnaise on it. I can't stand it.
Why
Where's
did
that backing
making
up?
you eat
I
mayonnaise?
don't know. I think it's an it.
Cause Edna couldn't
No, it's
stand
not.
it, you know.
What does that
I
got to
don't
do
know.
with you?
I don't know why she was making me doing it so it would make Ed Earl sick, and I was getting sick from eating so much mayonnaise.
I didn't like mayonnaise to start with, too much.
That's the main thing I can remember. But about
Okay.
that Mary
Here
Zelma.
it comes.
All right, Norma Jean, that's your
We're
chair.
gonna be in the
Corey,
movie.
if your mama needs you, you know, she said you were.
Hello, darling. Come on
Yeah.
in. Good darling.
That's your chair. So Eunice,
Hey, listen, right? You
Hey,
started
Eunice.
that habit.
Eunice. I'm the moderator.
Praise the Lord.
Have you started? This is the owner of the house.
Can you see it, Ori?
Yeah.
So Eunice, when did the first time Bud come down here?
It was after we had met. I wanted to meet my folks. And so we come, and he come up once or twice and brought the furniture, and Daddy would meet him up there. All that stuff, and I had to drive
Bought the
him-
furniture. You
and
mean
drive him north.
y'all was married before
Oh, sure we were. Sure.
before they met? Bud didn't ask permission to.
No, no. Well, if he didn't ask permission, I wouldn't have listened.
No, not for you. Ask for from Granddaddy. Bud get permission from Granddaddy to marry you.
No.
No.
I did love him, but he would say yay nor nay. Mama let me know she hated him.
Why she hate it?
He lived in a foreign country and he was Catholic.
Where did he? A
And
foreign
she
country.
did not like it.
Where did
She
Bud come
thought
from?
Massachusetts was a foreign country.
That's what I thought.
Oh, but now she did. And she, cause he was Catholic, I would never change him, and he won't go come down.
Well, did he change?
Sure he did. He went to church. He was drinking every dime he made and going down on the Norfolk Street where all the sailors hung out for prostitutes and drinking and getting drunk and all that stuff. Nobody with good sense went down there, but then
When did he get saved?
after
Bud.
he come with me, here's the case. Bud come with me up here to meet my folks, whatever. Daddy was delighted he came. Mama had talked to Preacher Wesley to talk to me and to talk me out of marrying Bud.
Norma Jean, when did Pat first come to this house?
He came before we got married because he asked Mama if he could marry. He said, I told him he needed to do it. Well, it didn't bother me. You know, I was going to marry. I was going to do whatever, you know, because I
You was gonna do what you want to, no matter what Grandma and Granddaddy
Because I
said.
knew I had a good one, the best.
Grandma didn't like
Write it down
Daddy,
for me and I'll copy
didn't
it
like
tomorrow.
Bud.
Okay.
She liked Ellis.
No, don't
I
forget
think
to
she
go
liked
to
Ellis.
You think?
Yeah, she did. She
She
liked Ellis.
loved me.
She liked Ellis and she, you know, and
At the end,
liked
she
Bud.
loved
She did
us
love
to
me.
death.
Well, we all know she loved them all.
Before she called Doug or Peanut, either one come down here and do anything, she always called, Bud, would you come in and check this out and that's for me?
She didn't want to hurt him.
She loved him to death.
That looks like Earl Ray right there. Who
What's
is
she
it?
doing?
It's Peanut.
Looks like Earl Ray.
Do you think so?
Sure does.
What looks like an array?
Hold it.
That picture of
Well, I
Peanut.
think he's got it.
Let me
And you
see.
got it
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I got it.
Let me see. Array.
Right
See
here.
Peanut. Oh, yeah.
Well, who was the hardest worker between all of y'all?
Before he
Me?
died, me.
Me?
Me?
Me. I raised them kids.
You remember?
That's the truth.
I
That
think
is
Merzama was the hardest worker.
That's the gospel truth. So mama got a job in the mill on second shift.
Daddy didn't want to go to work.
And she
CNA?
went to work at Danville, her and Lovett, and a bunch of them worked at the cotton mill in Danville. And then she went to work at Longhurst. So it was on second shift. The garment
So
workers,
how many people were living in the house?
All of us.
all of us.
Is that it? That was 8 kids and 2 adults.
Me and Daddy,
Only other people living in the house?
Emma,
nobody but
Emma Clayton lived, he mostly was in the back.
That was after we were grown, though. And
So I thought y'all said that several people were living in the house.
that
in
was,
my house.
No. Go ahead.
that was in Silas' house up here where Uncle Weldon and Aunt Nancy lived.
Oh,
That was
oh.
that house.
But that was her family. It wasn't
Eunice,
us.
was you born in this house, inside the house, or at the hospital?
I was born here. All of us were born in the house except 2, Susan and Doug.
What do you mean? I'm
Susan-
talking about birth.
Susan and Doug were born at the hospital, but that's only 2. Rest of us ain't netted. This black midwife
Uh-huh.
brought us into the world, and she had a book. She kept dates of when Linda was going to have her baby. When
did Linda have a baby?
Oh, wait a minute. When Susan would be due, and so, and she'd go from house to house, deliver the baby, and spend the night with you, and check back with you later, because she had another house to go to about every night.
So, Norma Jean, when did you go to California?
Okay, I went to Norfolk in '58.
So,
I worked in Norfolk, with Eunice and Bud, and I worked in Norfolk at MD North Living, Lincoln and Mercury. Then I worked at the bank. That's where I met my precious pet, and some other real nice guys.
wait a minute.
Listen,
Now,
she
Susie
wanted
was-
to be a nurse real bad.
Susie was dating 2 people at the same time.
Yeah.
Was you?
Well,
You said
no.
other men.
Oh yes,
Christine, at the Navy base, these ton of ships would go through the mid for 6 months.
So you was
Okay.
dating more than one man?
Sure you did. And the crews that knew the people on these ships would want to get dates freeing from the nursing quarters there. And when Bud and them ship come in, of course, they wanted us to get them a date from the nursing quarters with them. But the girl I introduced Bud's friend to, she married him.
All right, so
I never
back
thought
to
you-
Norma Jean. So you're dating Pat at North.
Yes, but I was dating Paul at first. Paul was my boyfriend, my sweetheart. He could. I seen him at a ship's party, and he could dance. Oh dear me! And I said, before the night is over, I'm gonna dance with that guy. And I did. And he got my phone number, and we started dating and everything. And he
Oh, we
was.
want to hear about Pat now.
Oh, now that was Paul, but then, Paul was jealous and everything. But anyway, so I did end up with probably the best.
So how
Yes,
long
sir.
did you date Pat?
Probably about,
And how old was you first?
oh, good grief, I was a little up in age, like in the 20s.
Oh, really? So now y'all dating Pat. You and Pat dating.
Yeah.
So y'all get married?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
We did. Yeah, and everything. But I still was, really in love with Paul. But Paul
You would
was
have probably dated
Catholic.
me had I met him.
Was Catholic,
No,
and
no,
I
so
knew
bad.
that I could not change. And when you're Catholic and all, and you marry somebody, the children have to be brought up in the Catholic Church. Anyway, Pat was an altar boy, but he knew that, look, there was no chance, me turning Catholic. So there was never a problem, never, and everything. And so then we had Pam.
What? You ain't got married yet?
Oh yeah, we got married.
Yeah,
Sligo, North Carolina. It was a little old town with Margie and his ship partners. Good grief, that's been so long ago. I don't forget.
So,
that.
Pat hadn't met Grandma and Granddaddy yet?
Yeah, we come home before we got married.
Did he ask?
Yeah. I didn't know he was going to do it. I didn't know
Oh,
he was
really?
going to ask them, if he could have my hand in marriage. But he was going to have it anyway, and all.
It's a wonder he hadn't asked me, because he was like my brother or my son. More like my son.
Well, she probably didn't want to marry his mama.
She lived with me, so they would stay in and out over there. Even after they married, they
So,
lived with us till we
I want to
moved
get
up
to
here.
California. When did y'all go to California?
Okay, now.
Now, how long did y'all jump around?
Oh, well,
So you had Pam in,
Portsmouth Naval Hospital. Both of my girls were born in Portsmouth Naval Hospital.
where's that at?
Okay, Portsmouth, Virginia.
Portsmouth,
Virginia.
Yeah. And so then we got transferred to, we were stationed in Virginia, Dam Neck, Virginia.
Say that again?
Dam Neck, Virginia. D-A-M-N-E-C-K, Virginia. And,
Is that where Cecil's from?
like that.
no. And then we got transferred to California, and we loved it. We loved it in California. It was
So how old was Pat and Pam when you first went to California?
little squirts, but
19,
no, they were little.
She was a year old.
1960 what?
19.
They were smaller than Shirley, weren't they? We moved up here,
Pam
so
was about
she'd be
4 or
6
5,
and go to
and Patty
school
was
at Bethel
just
Hill.
a year old.
Patty was a year old when they went to
I
California.
think so.
No, we flew out because I had 2 babies. One was 19 months. They were 19 months apart. So.
Oh, okay.
See, Shirley was. That door's
All right, let's get through it, Pat. We got to get Pat done.
Okay, so we were stationed at Pat had already gone out to Vallejo.
California.
Yes, and so that's up near San Francisco. So anyway, so when we flew in, me and the 2 girls, he met us, and the traffic was like this. I said, whenever we get to wherever we're living, I'm not going to get out of the house. I'm not going to drive anything. This is terrible.
I heard you say that before.
Yeah, but you know what? We loved it.
So you got used to driving?
Yeah, could drive better there than here, probably.
And when did you move back here?
Okay. Oh, goodness. Now, we stayed in California a total of 13 and a half years. But Pat retired in 75. We came back here, for a while. Mama was so upset at the thoughts of us going back. Pat got a job at RPC, and the boss there begged him not to leave. Pat says, well, I just have to tell you. He said, I hate it here because it's cold. It's so cold, and we've been used to wearing Bermuda shorts year round. So anyway, Ben was his name out there, and he said, well, look, take the rest of the day off in a few days, and then come back and, and let
So
me.
Pat was thinking about moving back to California?
Oh, yes.
After he come down here?
Oh, yes, it was too cold down here.
Who stopped him?
He didn't. He went back, and then we went back. Oh, yes.
So when did you come back to stay?
Okay, 78. That's when we, moved up here, by
So
Mary's.
did you make him come back?
No. Well, the main reason that we did come back, because, we would have stayed out there forever. But my mama, every time I'd get a letter, I'd end up in tears. She wanted us home. She knew Uncle Sam had let go now, and we could come home. So anyway, I thought, I said, I'm going to tell you, I'll never move again until something happens to her, because I'm not going to hurt her. Had these other kids, but, I guess I was the most special one,
So Grandma didn't come out there but twice.
Oh, I don't ever remember her coming but one time. She came one time.
And Daddy
I
said
went
that he
through.
didn't tell him to go out there, so he wasn't going.
Daddy said that to all of us, even if we went down to Chub Lake.
I raised you. I
Sure
did.
did.
Where was I at?
Daddy,
We don't know where you was at.
I don't
Mama
either. Ronnie was the life of my mama. You tell that.
And Anthony, Anthony was what?
Elsa Belt Griffin.
So, all right, give Rodney the credit he deserves with Grandma.
He deserves a whole lot.
did.
He did.
He begged on.
spent many nights on that couch and I staying with her.
Well, you did, but Rodney was a pride and joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as
He
Mama
was
had
a
some money for
pride
gas
dog.
or something like
And
that.
it was a
you know.
day when she was sick for them 6 years that he didn't come by here. And the first day he would say, I remember it so well, he said, Emma, what in the world are you still in that bed for? Get out of that bed and do something. You always in the bed. And Mama would just smirk, and Rod would
If
grin.
she had a quarter, he got it.
All right, Linda. When did you and Doug have a bad wreck?
The bad wreck was
Penny was a baby. She was
wait a minute.
3, 4 years old.
You know she's thinking.
I was trying to
Gosh,
help
I
her.
can't
New Year's
remember.
night. It was New Year's
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, because we went out.
Penny was about 3 years
60,
old.
65.
65.
Told you she was a quarter years old.
Yeah, 60.
Oh, no. I have to get out of this.
You on the camera.
Pause it.
You done it now.
Too late.
Pause it.
It was,
He ain't editing it out, is he?
Penny was
66. I'm 65.
65.
So 65. The year I was born, y'all had the bad wreck. I was born in
Oh,
65.
that's right. It was New Year's Day, and then you're right.
Yeah.
I know Penny was sick, and she was.
Because I had to stay out of school the rest of the year, and I went back the next year and graduated.
Well, about 3 or 4 years ago, I met the man that walked up on y'all's wreck.
Who is
First man, Mr. Wilbur.
She probably don't
Mechanic.
remember.
Yeah,
R.B. Wilbur.
I think
R.B. He
so.
was in my class.
Yeah, his son is about my age. But he told me that he was the first one on the site at y'all's
Okay.
wreck.
R.B.
We listened to
So
Phil.
what happened? Did y'all come out okay? I mean, did y'all get?
I was in the hospital for 4 days. I was unconscious for 3.
Yeah.
I came out the next day. I came to and came out the next day.
You come home the next day?
Uh-huh.
What- what happened to
They wanted me
Doug?
to stay up at the hospital with you.
Huh?
They asked me to come stay at the hospital with you,
And you
but I
didn't?
couldn't do it for some reason. I didn't, but there was some reason I just thought I couldn't take it or something.
So did Doug have to go to the hospital?
Yes, he did.
But it didn't stay.
He stayed all night.
Well, it didn't stay.
He spent the night.
He
They
just
kept
come
him
home
all
the next
night.
day. What did it do to Doug?
One night.
Nothing.
Okay, so when did Doug get struck by lightning?
Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
God.
Oh, that was on the way on up
way
to
on
age.
up.
He
I
was
was
grown, and he was working on that car under that hickory tree down the Peanut, and it had a chain that heisted the car,
Yeah.
and it heisted up.
No.
It was
I
pouring
said
down
you would.
rain,
I
and
might have said
thunder
a
and
week.
it began to thunder and lightning.
I know they
And
had their
Doug-
clothes on.
And
They come out off too.
what's the boy
Elma.
say that ain't Nancy's? Elma and
We weren't
what's the
mad
other 2 boys?
when he got struck.
Oh, I was listening to Linda.
Anyway, they come flying in the house up there. What's his boy's name?
Wayne Height.
Wayne Height. Wayne Height was bringing Doug in the house, and he said he'd been hit by lightning. I said, well, put him over on the couch, let me check him out. And
Andy Davis.
Aunt Nancy's boy was so scared of Pap's boy. He flew home. Elma, the road was slick and muddy. He had fell down out there in the mud and couldn't get up.
So what was Doug? He passed out.
Doug was, I told you, Wayne Height had brought him in there for me to look at him and see what was wrong. And God protected him because where the lightning hit him, it was a red spot like this directly over his heart.
And
That's all I could say.
Doug said that Wayne had heard
Yeah.
to stay on rubber, and he got the bar bouncing on a tire, so he get struck.
All right, say that again, Linda.
He said Wayne had heard if you stayed on rubber, you wouldn't get struck. So he got the baptism on the tire.
We were fixing to eat supper, and I had a can of, what is that? Just kind of like hamburger stuff in a can.
Sloppy Joe's?
Sloppy Joe. I had a can of Sloppy Joe and some buns and stuff for me, Shirley and Bobby and whatever. And they come in, I take Doug, and we won't go tell Mom and them because it was still raining, and he was breathing pretty good, and I thought he missed it. And anyway, in the meantime, Wayne Height and Elma, we got Elma in the house, and all of us, me, Bud, Shirley, and Bobby, I want you to know we had some left over. It's like a fisherman's story. I'm not fooling. We had, with that one can of Sloppy Joe, and them buns, and whatever else I had, I don't remember.
So you remember Doug getting struck?
I thought Mama called a doctor, and the doctor told him if it didn't kill him, he'd be all right.
No, I don't think we had many phones in them days.
I want to get to Margaret. I want to get to Margaret and Cecil.
I cried my head off when she got married.
when did Cecil first show up down here at the house?
He was the first.
Seemed like he's always been here.
He was first, him and Margaret.
They was first.
And they slipped away from Mama.
So
she got dressed to go to get married, and him and her got in the car, and we wanted to say nothing to Mama. And we got her out the back door, and they took off, and after they got gone, we told Mama they were going to get married. Thought the stars had fell.
Did you go with them, Mom?
I sure did.
To get married?
Got married on Depot Street. Where's the group home down there where the coaches lived?
Did the preacher marry him?
Mm-hmm. They got married in a house across the road from where Cecil was born. Cecil lived.
So what happened after they first got married?
I don't know if Cecil was in service then or not.
He was. Cecil was in service, and Margaret stayed down here with Mama.
Yeah,
her and the baby.
Wait a minute, they just got married. How did the baby come?
Well, they had a baby shortly after that.
Was it 9 months?
I'm sure.
I think it was 9 months, at least more, but about 10. 10.
So, all right, so how long did the baby, now Cecil was in the military.
Darn.
And the Margaret and the baby was, what's the baby's name?
Dolores. She was the first grandbaby. Mama thought that was the greatest baby in the world. I'll tell you that. Among all of us, she didn't think as much of us as she did that grandbaby, I don't believe.
I can't tell you. I don't know how long.
What did you tell me the other day? Dolores stayed down here for...
Yes, but I don't know how long it was after, Margaret and Cecil was married. I don't know.
Oh, you told me 6 months before Cecil saw the baby.
Yeah, but I'm talking about she didn't have that baby in 6 months. After she had
I was just a joke about the 9 months.
Okay. Yeah, she stayed down here. Dolores was probably 3 months old. I said 6, but she probably might have been 3 or 4 months old.
So Cecil didn't see his baby until it was 3 months old.
That's right. Sure? That's right.
Because he got out of service shortly after they were married.
It was about 3 months or more.
Yeah.
He didn't stay in service long after they got married. He was ready to get out.
I know he told me at Linda's sale that when he come home, Dolores was in the bed with Daddy, and Daddy didn't want him to even take her out of the bed. And he hadn't seen, that was the first time he'd seen her.
Yeah, I believe that.
But she smoked like a flame.
Who?
Dolores. Mary Zelma would give her cigarettes when she was but a year old. She loved them to death. She did.
I never seen that child smoke.
I didn't either.
I did.
I didn't either. Doug was about 6 years old, 5 or 6. Just like a sailor. Did you tell him?
I don't know.
He cussed like a sailor.
We ain't saying nothing bad about nobody.
And this ain't bad. Everybody around here, all the adults would come down here and sit around that belly stove right along there. near the window. And they would egg Doug on to get it just started. And didn't curse. We don't know where he got it from, but he had some terrible nerves.
Well, he might have got it from Peanut.
No, he didn't.
Oh,
No, he didn't.
no, he didn't either. I ain't
I
never
did
heard
never
Peanut
curse.
say nothing bad.
So
Yeah.
Peanut stayed down here the whole time and married Carolyn and farmed.
Yeah.
We ain't never been no far. Me, Peanut, Susie, well, Eunice and Norma Jean was the only two that ever
Well,
left.
you was in another country too, cause you was over the Badlands
oh,
at
yeah,
Five
I
Forks.
was over on the other side of Georgia.
So Peanut stayed right here on the
Yes,
farm.
Yes. One of the best things I ever had.
Why'd he choke you down?
Well, he was just playing with me. And he got the towel too tight, and I said, before I could get it out, I was on the floor.
Were you saying you was the closest one to Peanut?
I think so. Then Merzama at the end was.
Well, you said you was the closest one to Daddy, Granddaddy too.
I think so.
Listen, Peanut, back when he got married, he said he hunted and fished for their living because he did not have money enough to buy food. This is true. And about what they ate come from hogs that he raised, or chickens and
liked all that
rabbits.
stuff.
He was killing rabbits one day, knocking them in the head. Me and Queenie went over there. I like to die. I said,
Pet rabbits,
Peter,
right?
what? His pet rabbits in him cage.
And rock 'em
One
and knock 'em
day
in
when
the
we moved up here to take pictures at our new house, you know, all of us got together out front, and Peter, we were going to dress him up. So we made him put on a dressing-looking shirt and thing, and he didn't have on the shoes. Went in the house, we made him squeeze his feet in some boots. The Bud or Daddy one had, I don't know which, but he put them boots on. You don't show him on this picture, but one picture we got, he's got boots on. Where we took
It was at a funeral.
He
Oh,
wore,
my God.
no, it was right out there in front of that
It was
house
that
right
picture.
there.
He was at a funeral. He was at a funeral right
Oh,
there.
right there,
Yes,
yeah.
he was.
But he put them boots on long enough to take pictures, and they were killing his feet. So he said,
So have we left anybody out?
Mercy.
That's right.
Mercy.
So when did Big Mac come down here?
He was
I bet your grandma loved him.
listen,
Not
she
really.
won't marry him, but
So Big Mac come in on the line cruise, that right?
Yeah.
yes, and they got married. The Hardside Baptist preacher married him up here on the Durham Road.
I remember.
Wait a minute, let Susie. I ain't heard nothing from Susie.
I know it. I can't get a word
Well,
in.
Well, you bragged so much on. So Susie, was you at the wedding?
I went to Mary Summer's wedding, Preacher Martin night on the Durham Road,
Why
married
not
her.
go?
It was in a house.
Mosquitoes.
It was
You
on- it
probably
was on-
did.
It was on the Durham Road. She got
In the
married on
house.
the Durham Road.
No, I didn't go to Merzama's. I never knew.
Well, she did.
Was you in California?
I didn't go to the wedding.
What? Number two?
So how long did Mary and Jerry date?
I don't know.
I would say not over 2 years.
If it was that.
If that long.
I don't know either.
Daddy didn't want her to marry him because he said he was a through, one of these through people, you know, going through here.
Well, I'll say something about Jerry. Jerry was the most patient man that I had ever worked for.
Good.
He
Well,
had
you
more
did.
patience with me when he took me when I was in high school doing electrical work than anybody I ever worked for.
Merzama, before she married either one of them, she worked at Liggett Miles, and she was the one that, you know, I think several has mentioned that when she went to work, she paid for Mom and them to have this bathroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she paid for them to have indoor bathroom.
And I bought them the first television they ever had.
Well, from the time I got my first job, I was so thrilled at Turner Harris's restaurant. He was the best boss in the whole wide world.
He was from Five Forks, right?
Oh, he was wonderful and everything. And anyway, I made $18 a week. I gave my mama part of that money and kept on until after we were married and living in Norfolk. You know,
Kept giving her money.
Yes, I did. Every payday, I never failed.
I never
To help
got
her
no
pay for her,
paychecks.
to help her pay for her cars.
Pay me either.
Never did I fail, you know, to send her money.
So I wanted to, I've asked, when was this house built?
I got to thinking about that thing recently.
I'd love to know too.
It was, I would say, in Eunice is be 89 next month. Okay, and I think they lived. I don't know if they lived with Aunt Sally.
At Max's old house.
Yeah, where Aunt Maxie lived.
It was Aunt Sally's house.
They lived there.
I was told all my life that, and I remember Norma Jean taking the bottle away from us, and
They
that's
said
when
I did,
this
and
woman
they
over
killed my
here
woman.
came over here and nursed me, and Mama took me over from here over there
Yeah.
to be nursed
Yeah.
because she didn't have enough. I told you milk.
Yeah.
So I was here.
But this was one
I
of
was
the
sure.
last houses built on this place.
Well, it might have been,
Because
but
Woodson
it was
and Aunt Ed's built
I was
over
sure.
there.
I was here. I can't remember all this
I was
stuff.
here all my life, right here.
I don't
from the
remember
time I
ever.
was born.
Well, I don't remember things when I was a
How old
baby, but
you
they told
were
me
then?
all that.
Because
all
we
that.
certainly lived up there where Texas Lou lived.
So it's getting dark. Y'all want to say anything else?
Mom
Do
and
what?
Daddy had 8 children,
Uh huh.
2 boys and 6 girls. We slept upstairs now, up these stairs right here, and
All 6 of you?
all 8 of us. I was in 3 of us girls
About
in the
3 in
bed,
a bed.
and then Peanut and
We slept in the back
Doug.
room.
yeah, and Peanut and Doug. I think they were in another bed. It was 8 people, so you know that upstairs was a bed here and a bed there and a bed here.
All 8 of you in that one little room upstairs.
Well, we had
I
2 or 3
remember 3
beds
beds
up
up
there.
Hello.
We didn't have, it was a bedroom upstairs.
It was 3 beds.
And Mama and them slept in the back room. And anyway, Peanut, he loved raccoons.
She don't never call them.
Well, that raccoons will be with raccoons. And if he didn't get up the second time you call to get up there, he would bring that raccoon up and I was terrified of him. He'd toss him over in the middle of the bed. So boy, I got up when they called, I'll tell you that.
Go to the barn. Peanuts barn's down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only barns we ever had.
So y'all farmed this land right
Yeah.
here.
It was Daddy's.
He didn't
Uh-huh.
have about 5 acres or 6 acres.
Yeah.
Did you ever do any work?
I sure did. I handed leaves. I strung it to bark. I strung it to bark and I handed leaves. And I mowed this yard
Yes.
thousands of times and Rodney Lee. Thousands of times. And I swore let me tell you.
We was down there mowing that yard too.
I'm gonna tell you the honest God truth.
She
No,
only
I
has
didn't.
one child.
I swore, and I
That's
says when Mama and Daddy dies, I swore out to myself. I said, I've told Lenore and more of them that I would never mow this yard again.
Well, I
Because nobody
remember.
didn't come help me.
and her
Didn't come
both
help
did.
me.
I remember there wasn't no grass. It was all dirt because y'all had one of
Yeah,
them
we
brooms
had
that
a
you
brush
sweep.
broom and we
Margaret
swept them
would
with brush
sweep
broom.
But
We cut them
mowed
down
dirt.
out of the wood, cut branches off the trees for brush broom.
So when did Peanut start making molasses?
Oh, I thought he was gonna say something else.
Oh, he loved it.
I don't know if they ever made glasses.
Did you get that?
He did make
Yeah. When did
I was probably 8.
when did Granddaddy start making what you talking about?
Homebrew.
Homebrew.
Oh,
Granddaddy.
good God,
I don't know,
He
but
never did
I,
about one
I
time.
remember them making
I'll tell
homebrew,
you,
peanut and
alcohol, so liquor
Got my butt
for
with.
white liquor. And that road stayed busy going back and forth buying whiskey.
All right, so let's
And
get back.
Daddy went, he did homebrew. And it was good.
All right, what about Peanut making molasses? How?
I ain't never known him
Peanut
make
ain't
it.
made
Yes, he did. Yes,
I
he
made
did.
molasses
He
with
certainly
peanuts.
most did. I remember that. And I
Down
remember
where the
little
big
something.
rock is, down at the barn.
He sure did. I remember him
Have
making
we
molasses.
I was about 8 years old. It was after 68 because we had the tractor.
I've made it with him.
Yeah, it was after 68 because Daddy's tractor's a 68 and we had the tractor the first year.
Well, he drove the tractor around the circle.
Ran in a
Yes.
circle. Tied the steering wheel so it'd go in a circle.
Well, I
And
didn't.
Well, let me
did
tell you
homebrew.
that
I
out.
remember him making them.
I don't remember him making no molasses.
Yeah.
Grant
remember
Long
that.
did. Grant Long made molasses every year down there.
Because Woodson showed him how to do it.
They had a horse.
Woodson,
Woodson showed Peanut,
how to make molasses.
and he growed the sugar cane
Grow
down
the
at the
sugar
bottom.
cane in the bottom and over here.
Let me tell you about our famous bathroom. It was a big box that he put all the meat from the hogs
Oh,
and
there
he
might be
salted them down with salt, beans, and now they don't want to use salt. They covered it up with salt. And Daddy, he built a little platform out like this from the house. Put in one of them old big barrels, like to put trash
Yeah, I
in,
remember that.
up there. Hooked that thing up to a hose. And you went out there. You usually had to go in something. You couldn't just go out there and take a naked bath. You'd have to get to the curtain. Mama had some curtains around there, sewed around. And you stood up under that barrel. There was a barrel.
I remember
You stood
that.
up on that and turned the water on and took a bath. Now that was famous.
Yep.
I remember being
Famous.
Daddy bringing me candy, and you get jealous.
I did not. He so you give
He
us
sure
some.
did. He would always
He
say,
was
"Now you
supposed
got
to
to share."
share with you. She's
Bring
gonna
it to
be
me.
greedy, Rhonda. She's gonna be greedy.
He would bring it to me.
And look,
I gave y'all both a candy.
Now-
Miss Oakley gave it.
look.
what
Now
it was.
in school,
Can't who?
I never
All right,
would
hold up,
ask.
Norma Jean.
I never would ask for anything. If Edna didn't ask for a nickel for me to get ice cream from Daddy, I did not want it or nothing. I would not ask for 5 cents. Edna would ask.
For you.
Yes.
Why
Never.
did Earl always
Look,
have to ask?
I don't know why I
I
had
don't
to
know.
do it.
But she did.
She
I
was the
cooked
favorite.
too. I cooked when I
She
was
was favorite.
11 or 12 years old.
Oh, you did hurt yourself.
Well, I still cook.
Let me cook. Let me.
So, how much younger is Doug than Susan?
6 years.
And he's the last.
Yeah, 6 years difference between Doug and me.
So he
Yeah.
got treated like a baby till he was 20 what?
Until he
Until
died.
it was
He was, he was 70 years old.
He still does.
Till he was 70 years old.
But he was precious.
Peanut did too.
Linda.
I did it.
I leave.
I know it. I know how precious he was.
I remember the day Daddy died. I sat him down on that bed in the back room back there, and I said, "Let me tell you something, Doug. This goes for you, in particular." I said, "He's gone. We hadn't seen him or anything. He had just died, and they took him, and we were all together back there." I said, "If you turn out to be as good as our daddy is, you'll be one heck of a guy." That's what I told Doug. And Doug said, "Well, I'll try." Doug, after that, because he was the worst one. he was terrible about snitching. He always had something to say to me. Always had something
Always
to say
me.
back.
Hey,
He was trying to keep you straight, Eunice.
But
that's
I could have
impossible.
killed him at times for
Y'all
talking to Earl, the way he
Linda,
talked
those
to
kids
Earl.
saying things back to him. Yes, honey. Oh, yes. They probably called him honey more than you do, darling.
Probably.
Ain't nobody
And,
called him honey.
I talked right back to
I
him,
could've
and he
shown
knew it. And everywhere I went, I don't care where he was, he had something to say to me. And then I walked through that door.
That's exactly
Eunice, they said, "Her, guess what you want? I want to tell you what they said about you."
he did.
And he told the truth. Every last one run their mouth about.
That's not true.
It is so.
He thought you was
the
you was his
gospel
favorite.
truth.
That's why he liked talking
was
to
so
you so
bossy.
much.
Eunice, he would tell you stuff that we did not say gobs and gobs and gobs of times.
Hey, y'all can let go, cause we can edit it.
Let me tell you
So-
what I did do to him, though. He left here one time. Linda can verify this. He went to Florida, and Linda didn't. He didn't tell you he was going, did he? He didn't tell Linda he was going. This is how I took up for you. I met him.
I left him.
I met him over here at Longhurst, and he was with whoever he was with, and I stopped them.
Wayne Height.
And I told him, I said, "I'm gonna tell you one thing, buddy. You better get out of that car, and you better go home, and you better not never do this to Linda again."
And he did it anyway. Yes, he did.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he
Why'd
did.
you call me?
You know everything.
I told him
Yes, he
that.
did.
All right, so
You would think you would
y'all
know
talk about
everything.
how good a Christian woman Grandma was.
Wonderful.
Mama was one of the best.
I want to know how good a Christian woman Grandma was, and about the church.
Yes.
Teresa.
We were in church from the time we were in the womb.
Yeah.
We were in the church from all the time. She never quit. As soon as she said spit that baby out or whatever, we were in church. Morning, afternoon, and Sunday night, Wednesday.
We
It
went
was
to the back,
Yeah.
all the time.
wooden church. It looked like a barn down at Preacher Bride's. It's where we started with Preacher Sullivan.
Y'all started going to church with Pastor Sullivan, who started.
Yes, yes. I remember him just like it was yesterday. I've
Susan,
been,
you've always been the quietest.
I know.
I have been
always-
under every pastor
I've
that has
always
ever
been the
been
quietest.
here.
That's the truth.
Every pastor.
So when you started Theresa,
That was it.
I want to know about the church.
Okay, we
The
had
church was wonderful.
Preacher Sullivan.
Wonderful.
Then I think Preacher Knight was next.
The preacher night was next.
And he was nothing but a ball player.
He showed one.
Oh,
He had
I'm
girls'
glad.
ball team, and he was more interested in that ball team than he
Preacher.
was at church any day of the week.
When did Preacher Wesley come?
Then Preacher Wesley.
Preacher
came.
Wesley was wonderful.
Yeah.
So what building did y'all go to church to first?
We didn't ever
went
go
to
to.
Theresa
we went
Church.
over to
I mean,
Theresa.
that building down in Cousin Bryant was the first Theresa church ever was.
Was it a
old.
store?
Yes.
I didn't go
It
down
was
there. I
like
don't
that.
remember
It
going
was
down
more
there.
like a barn. That barn.
How long did you go down there?
I went from the day I was born, and they started the church.
Started
Mama, it was a handful of people, members of the church. Mama, Miss Bertha, Grandma Paul, and Miss Hallie, and I think
I hadn't got here then.
Miss Hubbard was about the main one. They were the charter members.
And then when did you move to the site that's at now?
And then they finally built the other church, and we moved after we got built.
Where was that church at?
Theresa.
Where's it now?
It's the Sunday school classes that
That's why it's so chopped up. We built and built
That was the
and
sanctuary.
built.
So what year was that?
I don't know.
30, it was in the 30s.
But y'all, I was 69, so about 68 years. 67 or 68. And Preacher Sullivan was wonderful.
I really liked him.
If I knew there was another split
He was a jolly fat old
coming in
man.
that church, I would leave today. You didn't even know it.
I did so know it. I shook his hand every Sunday.
Did you
And the
shake
one
his
that
hand?
split the church,
Yes, ma'am.
what was his name?
Stanley.
Yeah. He's been back twice since then. Did you know that?
But his
No.
wife died,
He
his
did.
child died, and
He
he
come
died.
back to the church twice since he split the church up. And there are people
I remember him coming back once. I
there's
remember
people
one time he
that
come
have
back.
never returned to that church since the day he split the church.
Let me tell you about Norma Jean and Mary Zama though. Mary Zama always bought clothes. You know, when she went to work, she bought her clothes. And Norma Jean would slip and wear them, and it would be a wall. You did,
know,
Norma
did I
Jean.
slip
You would wear her clothes sometime, and it would be a wall.
She used to scratch me.
always.
She chased me
Margaret
around.
was-
She was chasing me around the truck. It caused me to break my tooth off right here. First they did hard hit. I don't know what she fingernails of her. She scratched.
No, before Cecil Morgan got dating and all that stuff, she wore blue jeans. Back then, you didn't wear blue jeans too much, you know. But Margaret wore blue jeans.
Well, all right. So
She
we're
had-
gonna end it up.
She had it.
We're gonna finish it up. But y'all as a family have made every one of us feel like every one of y'all was our mama.
Amen.
Thank you, darling.
Well, listen,
We've
everybody
been
prays.
Know that I love
Everybody,
you like you're
I
my
hear
child.
saying things that, well, I'll tell you one thing I call, we have our fights, but they don't know about it.
y'all gonna-
That Carver family really sticks together. They are one family, but we don't always stick together. We just get back together.
Well, y'all really been blessed.
Amen.
And which I really appreciate the Thursday nights and the volleyball, and it's been a really good life. What was you gonna say, Norma Jean?
I was
pointed
going
at Susan.
to tell him, this is a crybaby. We were back here getting the wood and all, and I threw a little chip, like this.
Daddy, she threw a trip and hit me.
You get a spanking?
He told me when he went to the pack house in the barn right up there. When I come back, he was gonna whip me. He
Did he
come.
whoop you?
No,
Did he ever whoop hand one of y'all?
no.
No, but he
Mom
broke
did.
off.
Mom did your brush broom
Mama
off
would
you.
chase us, and we'd run around the house.
He broke off many little branches. He was gonna whip us, but I never
He
known
never
him to
whipped
hit
you,
me
never.
with it. But he
whipped
broke
me
them
all
all. Mama would whip you at the drop of a hat.
Why did he whip my daddy?
Best that I can remember, it was right there in that closet. Now, whether he ever hit him or not, I don't know, but he was gonna whip him. And I was crying then too.
Did he ever whoop Doug?
No.
Are you kidding?
He said, Daddy, I need some money. He said, Daddy, I need some money. And Dad said, I ain't giving you another dime. He was reaching in his pocket to pull it
Edna
out.
knows more than
I
anybody.
said, when did
Edna
he
knows
whip
more than
daddy?
anybody in the family.
Daddy,
He
All right,
ain't
I
never
appreciate y'all coming
Yeah,
down
that
here and talking.
whipped nobody like that.